friends. Today's topic is environment conducive for meditation. We know the importance of meditation, those of us who want to spiritualize our life, those who are not satisfied with the state in which we are. We want to progress internally. For us, meditation is how important we know. We know that meditation is the highest form of spiritual practice. It takes away all many defects from our life. We suffer from restlessness, suffer from our mental agonies, suffer from anxieties, and we know that meditation has the power to take away all those. We know how meditation is important to have a good, peaceful, happy life. Meditation is not only meant for this life. Meditation has a higher goal. It is seen as taking us to the supreme goal, which is the achievement of God, our supreme knowledge, whatever we describe, our supreme bliss. Meditation has that power. Not only it will take away all our worries and anxieties and sorrows of this life, negatively, and make us just balanced, but it will give us very positive feeling of great joy of understanding of our own selves, great joy of having the God vision or experiencing the God. So those qualities the meditation has. But those of us who have tried meditation know that though it is very important, but how difficult it is to meditate. We have many complaints. We want to meditation, we know, is the concentration on some divine form or divine idea. There are many methods given to us. And the song was saying, Guru has been so, we have been so blessed that we got a Guru, someone to guide us formally how to meditate, how to love God, how to become spiritual, how to get rid of worldliness. All the Guru has said us, and they have given us some spiritual power through the mantra. These all have been so much helpful for us. But still meditation seems to be very far away. We try to do little repetition of God's name. The real meditation, when we can forget everything external and merge our mind in divine, that has not come. Very difficult to come. If it comes only for moments, for seconds. Not even a minute we can still our mind and think of what we want to think. We want to think of something what our Guru said. Think that. Visualize that. We experience that. But where mind? Just there is a glimpse for a second and mind just goes away. So what is the reason that mind doesn't settle for this thing? So what will make our mind settle on what we want it to settle? So for this is, we are saying the environment. So environment, of course, is an aid for meditation. So environment are of two types. One is external environment, another is internal environment. External environment is of again two types. One is place, another is time. Place is very important for meditation. If you want to still your mind and all sorts of sounds and light and all distraction are around you, and still you want to put the mind on the object you want to do, and the senses just want to drag it out. So it doesn't happen. Meditation becomes very difficult. Only those who are adept in meditation, they have the power. For them, this external environment doesn't matter. They can meditate. What Swami Vivekananda language is, will have the peace of the caves of the Himalayas while they walk in the streets of New York. All sounds, advertisement, people rushing, all those influences, they can just ward off. People rushing, trouble, this, that, nothing can influence them. But that is very high stage of personality, high stage of practice when one is not affected by external environment, the place. The place is very important. So what kind of place is conducive for meditation? where your mind naturally becomes calm, quiet. We find some places when you find, oh, you feel just happy. So why do you feel happy when you see such beautiful places? Scenery are the places where you really feel that, yes, it is so nice, I feel so happy in that place. Beautiful meadow, nice mountains, the ocean, just now we read about the sky, ocean, all these limitless things, beautiful, natural, these landscapes, they are very calming the mind. We feel like sitting, we forget the world. When you go to Lake Louise or you go to some nice ocean bank, the beach, you'll find the world. You find so beautiful. We had gone to Mediterranean Sea. We didn't meditate there, but we found the whole sea there and the beach there, walking on the beach. You just forget the whole world. Your wants, your desires, you forget yourself. Who are you? You forget that you are an engineer or you are a professor or you are a monk. You just remember this wonderful scenery. Huge ocean, the waves, your mind is transported to somewhere else. That is the power of this beautiful scenery. You go to Lake Louise, beautiful water of turquoise color and the mountain reflected there, and though people are around there trying to enjoy, they enjoy, but what do they enjoy? They enjoy the serenity of the place. In that condition, when your mind has become calm, if weather is good, if you sit there, you will feel like doing more deeper meditation. But we don't try to do that. We go there, see, oh, how nice it is, take some photographs and come back. How we spiritualize the scenery, the places. Swami Brahmananda used to say, whenever you go and find such beautiful sights, sit there. Try to absorb the state of your mind and deepen your thought that have arisen there. Utilize the calmness and the joy of the mind that you have achieved by having visual contact with that beautiful scenery. Spiritualize your environment. So we need to absorb that and try to make it deeper in our thought. Then we really find how just a fleeting calmness of the mind or the happy scenery will transform into a sort of meditation. So place has definite there. But how can we every time go to Lake Louise and have the meditation there? And there is no place to even sit down. So what to do? So there will be meditation only when you go in 5 years, 10 years, want to some beautiful scenery. You see the big Mount Robson on the Rockies, and then you will start thinking, oh, what is the glory of God? Or I see a huge Niagara Falls. But how we spiritualize Niagara Falls? When people go to Niagara Falls, they are diverted to something else. What about seeing that vast amount of water being flowing down and nowhere to be found, so much a divine play there, and we don't try even to connect that thing with something divine, something so auspicious. We don't find that. So we need to make the things what we see and utilize it for our spiritual mood and make the thing auspicious. I went with the Swami there, and you could feel in the Swami that joy. It was not just seeing the Niagara Falls that he wanted to see, but there must be some spiritual connection. He of course described that. I read it in my school. The Swami was about 80 years old. And when I see this with my eyes, I can't believe it. Such a glorious. But he just expressed that much. But there was definite, he could connect that scenery with divine. How huge water flowing. This is about the enormity, about the vastness, like seeing a sea, like thinking of sky. So we'll try to do this meditation on this space a little later towards the end of our talk today. So what to do then? Then second best, you don't have nice scenery, nice weather. What you do? Go to some place where there is good vibration and you can meditate, and people are there who are around, like this place, like any other temple, like any church, like any mosque. Just where there is, people have prayed for God, they have forgotten their little self, they have smoothened their ego and thought of something divine. Those places are always conducive because of its vibrations there, they affect our mind. And we feel like, if we sit for meditation, any church, it's so quiet and good environment, you can meditate on anything. If you go to church and want to meditate on Brahman, you You can do. There will be good meditation. Meditation on Jesus, there will be good meditation. Meditation on Durga, go to the church and meditate on Durga. You can do that. Because there is all divine vibration there. It's all calming vibration is there. So church, all these religious places where there's a very conducive environment for meditation. Of course, our Vedanta society people often have expressed how nice they feel when they sit here for some time. Just sitting for 2-3 minutes is really not meditation. If we can control our mind for 3 minutes and put it on one place steady, that is meditation. But to try to do that, to have that in effect, we have to sit for a little longer time. If you sit for half an hour, maybe you will get 1 minute when your mind was still. But for that, the preparation needs half an hour perhaps. So it depends, of course, on the quality of the mind. Then coming to temple is only on Sundays. So is meditation only on Sundays at 11 o'clock? You come and sit here for 10 minutes before Swami comes and says blah blah. Is that sufficient meditation? No, that's not sufficient. Meditation has to be practiced every day. It has to be practiced every moment. Meditation should be a part of our every breath. We should live meditation. That is the goal. And to have that, coming on Sunday to a temple or a church or the Vedanta society is insufficient. So we need to practice meditation at home. Home, we can sit in a corner. Just we have to have a will to have meditation. Sit in a corner, try to fix our mind on something on holy thought that our teacher has said or what we have chosen ourselves. And then that form or that idea or something divine. And we need to try to make our flow of mind towards that object by controlling it, being filtered away or being dragged by other thoughts. So just trying to have mind control and put on the object of meditation. That practicing meditation in our room, in a just corner. You just pull a chair, sit on that, or sit on the ground with crossed leg, whatever you feel comfortable. And that becomes a good environment for meditation. And the good thing of practicing meditation is, when you start practicing, first day it was difficult, next day it becomes a little easier, fraction of amount of easiness will be there. And when you practice for 1 year, you feel it much easier. The environment has been created. It was not there, you have created. How does it help? One is you start becoming regular. Your thought becomes more prone towards meditation. Now I have to meditate. So you become more steady and firm for meditation. The second thing is about the mental vibration. The vibration that you thought there, you leave something there. It doesn't just lose or go away. So in that corner, in that room, you have some good vibration left today because of an attempt for a fraction of a second perhaps, but still you try to think of God or think of something divine and repeated the name of God, that is remaining there. Next day you come, that affects your mind and you do still better. Third day still better. After 1 year that place becomes like a place for a meditation. It becomes like the temple, that becomes like a temple. Sri Ramakrishna said, meditation should be practiced in mind, forest, or the corner of a room. Forest is difficult, quiet place. Who goes to the forest? There are so many animals, snakes and other ferocious animals. If you go to India, there will be cheetah and tiger. Here you go, there will be skunk and other animals. So raccoons and skunks, so it's all afraid. So you can't go and just sit in the forest and meditate. So what to do? The mind. Mind is the final thing when you can leave meditation every moment. But before that, we need to practice meditation morning and evening in our house. If you have, many people have a small room set apart at the shrine. They have a picture of their chosen deity, and they sit in the meditation. Either they burn an incense stick or put some flowers, or even if they don't do that, they sit there and they try to fix their mind on the object of meditation, a symbol of God. Anything, cross or crescent, moon or home, or the figure of God, the Christ, or anything like a Makkah, picture of Makkah, or a picture of Gurus according to Sikhs, or Hindus have so many forms of God. So if you keep one and you try to fix your mind on that chosen deity, you have to have that relation with the chosen deity. So it becomes practicing in a corner, as Sri Ramakrishna said. And practicing in the mind is when your mind is adept now to meditate. There is automatic flow going towards the divine thought. Your mind, instead of thinking of yourself or yourself as the body, or only your problems, or only where the mind is attracted, thinking of that, you have now got the control, and your mind's flow is automatically towards the object of meditation. Then meditation starts having where? In the mind. So that takes time. But that is the goal. Time is another factor for meditation. They say when our mind is calm, that is the most important time. When you just came, had a quarrel with someone, you had a big fight with someone and want to calm, you are unhappy with what you did or what that person did. Mostly we always blame others, and that becomes more distraction for our meditation. When we have quarrel with someone, we will always try to blame that person for the quarrel, because we'll say we are all right, that person made my mind disturbed, that was wrong, and that makes mind more disturbed. If we try to put blame on ourselves, we become calm more quickly. And if we analyze, there is a lot of, they say one cannot have the clapping with one hand. Clapping means two hands. When there is quarrel, there must be some of our mistake. There has to be some. Why did we fall in the quarrel? Why couldn't we avoid that? Why I got agitated? Why I got angry? So that was definitely our mistake. So, but we see only other person's mistake, and that becomes difficult. So in that situation, agitated mind, restless, all dragged by worries for the work, and you want to sit and want to calm your mind. That is not possible. There has to be time when mind is calmer, and there are times in 24 hours when mind is more calm. And that time, that people say generally is the morning, when you had a nice rest at night. Morning you get up, have your ablution and all that, and find time before going to office, some time. 15 minutes, half an hour to sit for meditation in the place. That is a beautiful time. Half an hour, I get up early in the morning at 6, and then I have to rush at 5:30, and 5:30 I have to rush at 6 o'clock. So where is the time? I have to get prepared. If you don't get time for that, can you get up instead of 5:30 at 5? Can you get up a little early? Sleep a little early? And that half an hour you can use for practice of meditation. That's a wonderful time. Another time for many people, there are two types of people who feel fresh in the morning, another is who feel fresh at night or the evening. So, evening, whole of day of work and contact and communication with the people, little disturbs the mind, always it is there. So how not to get disturbed, that's also another sign. You have to have prepared that so much will come. If you say whole day will be very good and there will be no conflict with anyone, then you feel very distracted and disturbed. If you have little feeling that, oh, there will be problems, then you come back calmer. You have to have that expectation. When I have to interact with the people, there will be little interaction, little conflict. So with that preparation, if you go, you come a bit prepared. Yeah, that happens in the world. So when you come back and you feel rested, and then you try to meditate in the evening after 1 hour of that thing. For that you read something or do little yoga, little exercise, and then that all makes mind calmer, and sit for meditation. That is also a good time, evening. The scriptures say the midnight and noon time is also good for meditation, but that's very difficult. It's very difficult for those who are busy in our duties, in our work. But that is also supposed to be good time. So the times when this day joins with night, that's morning, or night joins with day, that's evening, or when the two times of night join together, that is the midnight, or day, morning and the day join, that is the midday, these 4 times are called sandhi, and sandhi are supposed to be very conducive for meditation time. So it depends on which time you can utilize, and we should practice meditation. This is said that external environment. But external environment will not work anything unless we have conducive internal environment. Sri Krishna said to Arjuna, have a steady mind, control your mind, be meditative and fight. What is there? So Arjuna said, Lord, you said so easily to control my mind and be meditative and fight, to perform the duties. But it is very difficult to control the mind. And he gives 3 examples of the mind. It's not easy. He said, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. Lord, this mind you said control, but by its very nature it is restless. It's always in flux. It is always moving. How can I make it steady and sit in one place? This is the mind's nature. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramathi. It's not that restless. Like a baby, if you want baby to sit down at a place, it won't. It will cry. It's very restless. And not only like a baby it is restless, but it is very turbulent. Tremendously restless. That's what Arjuna said to Sri Krishna. And turbulent, it's in Pramati Balavat. It's very powerful also. And you asked me to control your mind and think of the divine and perform your duty. Don't be associated with anything. Just keep your mind and senses. How is it possible? And it is dridham. It is very obstinate as well. It is restless, turbulent, powerful and obstinate. That mind, how can I control? And what you say to control, it is like controlling the wind that is blowing. The breeze that is passing. Control that breeze. Don't let it blow. How can you do that? Just by mental power, just by catching through a hand, can I control the wind that blows? Tasyaham nigraham manne vayo rivasuduskaram. It's so difficult. Arjuna was a great leader at the time. He had a very concentrated mind. When he was asked to shoot the eye of a bird, all other of his royal princes who were also good archers, they could not do that. And Arjuna was asked, and Arjuna in one shot he could pierce with his arrow the eye of the mortal bird in the tree. And he has such concentration of the mind that his teacher Dronacharya asked Duryodhana, now get ready to shoot. And he said, yes, I am ready. So then he said, do you see the tree? Yes, I see tree. Do you see the bird? Yes, I see bird. Do you see me? I see also you, sir. He said that. Duryodhana said, now shoot. He shot and it didn't pierce, it went away. Then Arjuna was asked to do that. Arjuna was asked, do you see the tree? No, sir, I don't see the tree. Do you see the bird? No, I don't see even the bird. Then what do you see? I see only the eye of the bird. Such was his concentration. When he was practicing as a young Arjuna, that he developed and became the best archer of the world that time, of the known world that time. That Arjuna said, it is so difficult, Krishna, to control the mind. It's so restless, it's obstinate, it's powerful, it is turbulent. And you ask me to control the mind. How is it possible? Sri Krishna said, it is possible. It is not impossible. If you want peace in life, if you want real purpose of life to be fulfilled, having got the human life, you have to control the mind and practice meditation. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena chakriyate. He said, the methods are two. One is practice. That's what we are talking about, practicing meditation. Another is renunciation. Think. Don't be too much. Know the reality of the world and worldly objects. It just drags your mind. The worldly situations. Try to understand the worldly things and try to fix your mind on something divine, something your own real original nature. Sri Ramakrishna taught to Yam about this renunciation or Vairagya as it's called. So then he asked Yam, what is Vairagya? What is renunciation? Yam said, Vishaya Virag, that is not having interest in the objects of the world, being able to control the desires to enjoy the objects of the world. Sri Ramakrishna said, no, that is the half of renunciation. That won't be possible. If your mind, just withdraw the mind, where will you put the mind? Mind has to be put on something divine. Then only it is possible to withdraw the mind. So both go together. Love for God and detachment from the world. Both go together. So love for the world is a necessity of renunciation. Renunciation means love for God and detachment from the world. That one, try to love God and practice. That will make your mind quieter. Swami Vivekananda also said, mind is so difficult to control the mind. Even for a second, we cannot control it and put it in one place. And meditation for a few minutes is terribly difficult. How our mind is? He said, our mind is like a monkey. Monkey by nature is so restless. You can't keep monkey quiet. And the monkey, not simple monkey. The monkey is bitten by scorpion, stung by scorpion. Scorpion bite, those who have heard about scorpion, is not found much here in the West, but in the warm tropical places they are very common. And they say scorpion when one bites, the person just jumps out of pain, jumping, he's so restless. This scorpion bite is terribly painful. So bitten by scorpion, and then it is drunk wine. Wine, drunk, this monkey bitten by scorpion, how restless it can be. Swami Vivekananda said, not only that, then it is possessed by a ghost. That is the condition of our mind, and we want to control it and want to say it, be steady, don't jump, don't run, like that thing. So it's very difficult, but that is the thing that we need to do. We have pride, we have ego, we have desires. Those are the things that make this mind very restless. This desires to possess this, always dragged by the desires. That's what Sri Krishna said, Kama esha krodha esha rajo guna samudbhava mahasano mahapapma. This desire and anger are the things which doesn't make your mind free, mind restful. These are very sinful and very effortless. Mahasano mahapapma vidhenam iha vairinam. Know this to be enemy. What? Desire and anger. Treat them as enemy. Control desire. What you do when your enemy has come? You control the desire. And these are like the gates to hell. If you cannot control this desire and anger, it will be like hell. Kama, krodha, tatha, lobhas, tasmadeta, trayam tejit. That he said, therefore these three doors of the hell are the desire for worldly objects, extreme desire, which is also called lust. Desire and anger, very come together. And greed. All these are all the same forms of mind. These are the door to hell. The life in this world becomes hellish if you can't control these three. And these three can be controlled by the practice of meditation. And meditation can be done with the practice and with love for God. Love for God can be developed by the spiritual practice. So, this method of meditation, of course, is concentration on the divine. Is all concentration leads to meditation? Not necessarily. Meditation is that concentration which is done on something permanent, eternal, something full of all positive qualities, which we call divine. Either the divine form or idea of God, or our own self, which is also divine. It has to be some notion of divinity. That is something unearthly, immaterial. So, concentration on the divine is meditation. If your mind is concentrated on some beautiful painting you are doing, it's fine concentration. That also is the source of joy. You forget the world. But it won't give you that positive feeling for the whole day. That will be nice, you feel very nice that you painted beautiful scenery or beautiful portrait you are painted, and you could do it and it's just lively, or whatever you want to project it, you did it. But still it will be short of the word meditation. It will be nice concentration on that thing. Because it will not make you realize God. It will not make you spiritual. So to make the life spiritual, where we want our whole system, whole thoughts, whole actions to be modified, transformed, so that we become a transformed person. We become a best utilization of this human life would be possible. For that we need to concentrate our mind on divine. Concentration on minds on divine form or divine idea is meditation. So that is very important. So to have this concentration successful, we need the purity of mind is very essential. Mind has to be pure. And what is pure mind? The pure mind is which is under our control. And when the mind is controlled, when it is not, we are able to we don't become slave of its mind being dragged by the senses. Senses see the things of the world, it listens, it hears, it touches, and then we feel like enjoying those things of the world, possessing those things of the world. And that becomes distraction of the mind, and that type of mind is called impure mind. They say there are 4 types of mind. One is restless and wandering. Always by nature it is very restless. And why it is restless? Because of desire, greed, and want to enjoy the world. that makes it restless and always it wanders. There is another type of mind. May not be there much desire to enjoy the things, but it is very dull and forgetful. It doesn't want to stay. It doesn't have activity at all. So it is dull, lethargic, and forgetful. This second type of mind. These both types of mind are not fit for meditation. There is third type of mind, which is disturbed. It gets disturbed, but occasionally it gets steady also. And person is able to understand, my mind is disturbed. It should not be in this condition. So their spiritual light has come, inkling has come. So this type, we all are in this third category. We get disturbed, but yet we know if we could make mind steady and meditative, there is our purpose of life will be fulfilled. So, and when we practice that with this mind, then mind becomes completely restrained and one-pointed. And that is directed towards divine. And there comes the real meditation. Sri Ramakrishna, what makes this mind impure? I said one is desire. And another desire comes out of ego. I sense. Something notion about yourself. So Sri Ramakrishna was born of a very high family. So he wanted to get rid of all his ego, all his distinction from others. I am a man among men. That should be the feeling of a spiritual seeker. No separation from any other. I am one with you. I am equal with you. Sometimes you see in some centers you go, they will say, Swamiji, this is your plate, this is your cup. So as if Swamiji is distinct and we have to have that cup to drink tea or drink water. But the Swami should not want to have that because he doesn't feel himself to be different from any other person. Everything is divine. He is not superior. That is only done out of respect. That yes, what you think, we respect you. But for Swami, if we don't give that cup, he doesn't mind anything. He said, give me anything, doesn't mind. But a devotee would want to go and give him special, want to treat him special. That is for the joy of the devotee only. So there comes the lack of ego. Sri Ramakrishna also was born in a high family, and he said, I feel I am born of a Brahmin. I should not feel that way. This ego should go. To give away the ego, then he practiced very physically, not only mentally. What he did is, he went to the place where beggars used to eat, and whatever beggars had left, that food he ate practically. A temple priest, worshipper of God, very highly pure soul, he ate those, and then he cleaned the places where it is thought to be very menial to clean the places where others have eaten. That high-souled person, the head priest of the temple, he went and cleaned those places. Not only that, the plate that have been eaten by those beggars, he put on his head and carried and disposed those off. Just to get rid of the ego of being a Brahmin, of higher caste. He did this practically. And he used to go to a sweeper who is supposed to be very lower caste. And at dead of night he used to go there, and with his long hair he used to clean the latrine of that priest. Can you imagine that? Why did he go at the night time? Because he was ashamed that other people will say him something bad? No, because if he goes daytime, the sweeper will not allow. Sweeper will say, no, I cannot do it, very sacrilegious, I cannot allow, there will be a lot of problems. So he used to go at the quiet of night when nobody knew, and to get rid of ego. To get rid of ego makes this difference. And ego is such a thing, we often have this ego without having the quality. A person is very rich and he thinks he is rich, that is ego, that's normal. That should not be there, but that is normal. Sometimes a person that is not rich, that is not very wise, that is not great in his social status, he starts thinking something great for him. False ego also comes. One is the true ego, that also has to be cut. That is also a problem, that is also an obstacle. But false ego comes and gives so much trouble. Person has some $100,000 in the bank balance and he starts thinking, oh, I am so rich. Others live in mortgage and in the credit card. I have $100,000 in my bank. So what of that $100,000? There are billionaires, hundreds and thousands of billionaires and millionaires in the world. What do you do with that? So this ego of being wealthy is another problem. Sri Ramakrishna knew that. He said that what really is the worth of money? Money gives you food and shelter. What you need so much of money? But money otherwise is equal to a plot of clay, a lump of clay. And he used to take both in hand 1 rupee, the money, Indian currency, and in hand plot of clay, and say, this money and clay are same, and both he used to throw in the Ganga. Physically he practiced renunciation to impress upon the mind. His mind was very concentrated, very pure, but still to get rid of a trace of giving importance to money. He would practice that way. Physically, Sri Ramakrishna practice is to curb the ego. And ego will be curbed when we feel what we are. Ego is making us smaller. You feel rich, you feel wise, you feel scholar, you feel good looking. All those things make you smaller, me. You are much more greater and bigger than that because you are divine yourself. Ego is always lessening ourselves than what we are by our nature. We are all pervading, we are all inclusive, we are one with the whole universe. So why do we make ourselves smaller? To have meditation, we must train our body first. Because we want to sit for half an hour, for 1 hour, for 2 hours, then we should train our body to be still. And that can be done by practice, training the body. Moral disciplines are necessary. This moral discipline, not this what is said in the Raja Yoga, ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, parigraha, like a non-injury, don't hurt others. Don't hurt others by words or by deeds, not even by thought. That is very important. Be truthful in your life. Don't have greed for anything that doesn't belong to you. Greed, ahimsa, satya, asteya. Have self-control. Brahmacharya, aparigraha. Don't try to just accumulate things which you don't need. Aparigraha. Don't accept those things. Aparigraha. Those are very important practices, moral disciplines that we need to do. Shaucha, santosha, tapas, swadhyaya, ishvara, pranidhana. Cleanliness. Try to make body clean, thought clean, cleanness. Contentment. What I have is the best. I don't need anything more. I'm very happy. The feeling, the saying that I am happy, that itself is a moral quality. Saucha, santosha, tapa, little austerity. It doesn't matter with the little all this physical comfort, that doesn't matter. So, santosha, tapa, swadhyaya, study. That is also very important. Studying the scriptures, studying the good books, studying the life of great persons. That, as a regular practice, helps in meditation. When you read the life of, as he was reading the things, you feel like meditation. That is a good practice for meditation. Then there comes breathing practice, which makes our mind calmer. The rhythmic breathing. The important is spiritualizing the desires. Swami Yatishwarananda writes in the book Meditation and Spiritual Life, spiritualize your desires. It's very difficult to get rid of all desires. What we need to do is spiritualize it. Connect it with divine something. Suppose you want to eat something nicer, offer that to God. When Girish Chandra Ghosh came, he was a drunkard. So Sri Ramakrishna didn't say, don't drink. He would have not come next time. He said, oh, you are drinking. Why don't you offer to divine that? Why do you drink? Drink. But offer that to divine. This little thing he started doing, and he was very sincere, and Sri Ramakrishna's blessing was there. After a few years, he totally gave up drinking. How is it possible? You see, nothing. He had to do the counseling, this, that. Just by starting by offering to the divine connection started. This is spiritualizing desires. You want to have something, you want to have a new car, very nice sports car, I got this nice car, Ferrari. I have money, I want to have that. A little, maybe difficult, accumulated money is there. Then, how to spiritualize? Think that it is my Ishta's car. It belongs to my Ishta. It doesn't belong to me. That is spiritualizing the thing. If you think it is yours, then the ego comes. If you think it belongs to that, the ego is driven away. Just you become very smooth, it becomes very sweet position. When that something scratches there, you are not trouble. You say, oh, it belongs, something comes in your mind, oh, something belongs to that. Someone hits while you are reversing the car. You have a very nice car brought. Oh, it was mother's car it broke. You have a chance to quieten the problems or worries that is born to you. So that is how we can spiritualize. Every desire can be spiritualized. Suppose we cook something out for our family. That also can be spiritualized. Oh, I am doing it to please God. So that my Ishta, my God will be happy if I could prepare well and the family members are happy with the food. Instead of making my son and husband and daughter happy, I want to make my Ishta happy. That is spiritualizing desires. You don't want name and fame for yourself. And you know that when your children and your husband and wife are happy, when God is happy, you feel, oh Lord, thank you very much for making this. Spiritualizing the desires. Any desire can be spiritualized like that. And that will help when you sit for meditation in the evening and morning. When you are calm in mind. Mind will not be restless then. And what makes easy this meditation is japam. Repeating God's name is very effective tool for meditation. It doesn't seem high just repeating Rama, 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 or Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. How can it help meditation? It does help. It does help this repetition, but Patanjali says only repeating will not do. When you repeat the mantra, when you do japam, you try to think of the object of your meditation, japam. Like when you say Jesus, try to think of Jesus, His form, His qualities, His compassion, His love for mankind, His sacrifice, and all those things will come to you. Your japam of taking name of Jesus will be more effective. And that mind will be conducive for meditation. If you take the name of Sri Ramakrishna, think of the Ramakrishna. His moral life, his renunciation, his love for God, his total disciplined life, and his enormous love for mankind. Just think of that. The person who didn't want any joy from the enjoyment from anything of the world, whose whole joy was in divine communion. So think of Sri Ramakrishna. So all those qualities will come, and then japa becomes effective. So we have already time is over. So what we'll do is now we'll try to a little meditation. Give me 5 minutes more, and let us see if we can practice this meditation. How much the environment is conducive. You are really want to meditate, but how much this talk has become conducive for a meditation. Let's practice it. Let us be in the spiritual meditative posture, that is sitting straight.